Hey everybody, Master vs. Many continues, taking a quick break from the candidates analysis to dive into the more important matters at hand, which is not losing on time in our vote chess game. What do I got here? 15 minutes and 19 seconds at the time of the recording, so all of those players who are just happy to win on time will be duly disappointed and can go back to complaining about our technical glitch earlier in the match where I did lose on time, but not really. All right, let's focus on the chess here and talk about what I know about this position, if anything. So, bigger picture, what's going on here? White wants to grip. Let's get to analysis mode. White wants to grip the d5 and f5 light squares long term. Also, sort of slow down the expansion on the queen side. And the question is, okay, so there were several moves here. I know that bishop to g2 was played by MVL against Topalov in the game that I was sort of trying to follow in my head. Probably along with Hikaru Nakamura, follow MVL's games more than any other top player because he's my boy. So I know there was bishop to g2, b5, and then MVL played bishop g5, something like b4, knight d5. Or no, it didn't work like that. Bishop g2, b5, castles, and then on b4 there's positions with knight d5 takes, queen takes, rook b8. Because I remember the point is sometimes bishop g5 can be double-edged. I'm not sure that even though it's such a natural developing move, you know, black is going to play some natural moves to unpin it, and we're kind of right back to square one. I don't know where I want this bishop traded. So, although I think that if we played bishop g5, bishop e7, and bishop g2 or a4, we'd be getting what Caruana and Nakamura played in Zurich at the Zurich Chess Challenge last year, not this year. Something like that. I want to say that Caruana went for variations with a4 and a5 to prevent the expansion, and that he didn't allow the b5, b4 lines. And there's so basically, regardless of remembering the game, let's talk about what's instructive about the position. White has to balance gripping the central light squares while preventing counterplay on the queen side. All of you guys are going to be voting for moves like b5 and knight c5 and try to get counterplay on the king side. So I have to develop accurately, make sure I keep control over the critical light squares, and do my best to prevent counterplay on the queen side. There's the old-fashioned, bring the hammer down like Thor and just play a4, which is definitely a move, and it has been played by top grandmasters before. I know that to be true, and it also just makes a lot of positional sense. The more I look at a4, the more I want to play it. It stops b5. I maybe threaten a5. It makes sense. And again, bishop g5 and bishop g2 are also moves that make sense and don't prevent b5, but go a little more aggressively for just gripping the light squares before maybe black can completely coordinate the queen side. So all that said, these are sort of the battles we're playing for here. Black is going to have, nice space on the queen side, the c-file activity, maybe sometimes the bishop pair in certain lines to compensate for his weak positional outposts in the center. Sometimes black has this h4 shot too in different positions I need to be careful of. Not that h4 can't be met by g4 in a lot of positions, but in positions where black might be able to immediately play things like bishop g5 and grip the dark squares, that's probably not something I want to do. So, all of that said, what will I come back to? a4, playing the more positional binded outline, probably less theory, might start throwing you guys off in whatever legal resources you're allowed to use with the Openings Explorer, etc. Bishop to g2, like I know MVL played, and I hope I'm right. Or bishop g5, which I think Caruana played, which could transpose to both bishop g2 or a4 if bishop g5 is met by bishop e7 instead of b5. I could still play a4 and transpose if I chose those lines. But now that I've talked about the position a lot, I feel like I'm reminding myself of my understanding, which is what you need to do in your own games. Don't try to remember theory like, what did Kramnik play in 1979? Well, first of all, Kramnik wasn't playing chess in 1979. That's a trick question. You should know that. You don't try to do that. You just analyze the position. You don't have the luxury of talking into a camera or the handicap of talking to a camera, however you want to look at it. But analyze the position, dive into your own games, and allow what you know about the position to come forth in your evaluation, in your calculation, in your intuition. Don't just try to pull rabbits out of the hat. That's how you'll be successful. Now, I'd love to sit here and chat with you, Master versus Many players all day, but I got some candidates videos to get to and been preparing these very hard. So I'm gonna go back to the real game. I'm gonna go over to our Making Moves template. And let me refresh just so they all know I didn't lose on time as the players freak out. Now I'm down to 9 minutes and 59 seconds upon playing it, and here we go. I'm going to play bishop g2, And drum roll, please. Feeling pretty good about it. Let's rock and roll. I'll remind everybody, how do you play Vote Chess on chess.com? You go to chess.com. Recommend, of course, using chess.com/switch, the full new main site. No longer really considered a beta. Well, let's go there. So let's go to the homepage of chess.com and remind you how this thing works. So you go over to play. You go down to Vote Chess. You see My Game, Master versus Many, 3251 players. Let's get the players to 5,000. Come on, tell your friends. There's also other games getting ready to start between International Master John Bartholomew and Simon Williams. You click on the game, you join the game, and you vote for your move, and you now, world, have 23 minutes and 59 seconds. Game on, it's on you. And let's get back to the big show candidate analysis.